Okay, so we now have our basic spreadsheet done. There's a number of different things you can do. If you wanted to actually change this or make it a little bit more useful to you. Now, say for instance you want to put in a whole bunch of more questions. All right. Suppose you want to add like another 5 questions. All right. Well, what you can do is you can highlight these say 5 rows and go insert, and it will insert the number of rows that you highlighted. Now, what I want to do though is I want these to go on the end, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to go cut, and then I'm going to click on the end and I'm going to say insert cut cells. All right. Now, the only thing I'm not, so I can just add, I can drag these guys around, and now I got another 5 questions. All right. Now, what I'm not 100% sure is going to happen, okay, is if the total is the sum. See, now you notice how the total is still the sum of B2 to I2. I really wanted to go the rest of the way now, so now I'm going to have to hit sigma again and sum up that entire section. Okay, and I'm going to have to drag that formula down so that all of them now get all the extra cells. Okay? Now the other thing is, if I type in a whole bunch of new totals here, obviously I'm going to have to change the denominator here to whatever that new total is. Okay? So that's something you just might want to be aware of. One actual trick that you could do is you could actually, instead of typing the number 42, you could just click on the cell. So O2 divided by O2. The problem, crud, enter. The problem with that is that when you drag this down and do a relative drag fill, okay, it's going to keep on dividing. See, this number is 03, 04. What you want to do is you want to fix this. So I believe the way to do that is with the dollar sign between the O and the 2. Okay? So that when I drag this down, it will always divide, no matter what the numerator is, the denominator is always O2. Okay, so in other words, it fixes O at that point. Okay, so that's one way you can just insert more rows in and then put in more data if you like. Now, another way you can do it, and I'm going to actually delete all this crap because I'm not really interested in that. I don't want that many. Another way you can actually put some more information in and actually divide this up into sections is to actually insert a title into this guy. So I'm going to click here on the top row and I'm going to go insert. This is the way you insert rows, and I'm actually going to make this whole thing about one particular topic. So I'm going to highlight this row, everything that's above what I did, and go format cells. I'm going to merge the cells, and I'm going to make this section to be about cell biology. And I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to go center it. All right. So I got this new section on cell biology, and you notice down here where it says sheet 3, I can say, okay, this is the cell biology section. All right, I'm using these biology terms because I'm a biology guy. All right. Now, suppose I want to have another section. Okay. Suppose I want to actually insert a new sheet. I can go insert new worksheet, and this new worksheet is going to be mitosis. All right. And actually, I have all this information here. I've got all these formulas, and I don't want to really type all this extra crap in. So what I can do is I can just click here, right click, go copy, and I go to my mitosis section, go up in the corner between the A and the 1, right click, paste, and you notice that everything gets pasted over. All I now have to do is change the title of the slide to mitosis, and I should probably spell it right. And what I can do is say, okay, let's add a couple more rows in here. I typically like to add my rows in the middle. Suppose I'm supposed to have another, suppose I have a total of maybe 10 questions here. I'm going to insert between these two. I actually have to highlight everything if I want the formulas to insert as well. I'm going to go insert, and I want to insert everything right. And then all I have to do now is, suppose this question is, let me see, on cell biology I had 8 questions. So this is going to be question number 9. See, I'm just adjusting this so that everything relates. Question number 9 through question number 18 here. Okay, and I can adjust the width of these rows like this, just by dragging them over like that. And now all I have to do is I put in the new totals. I do want to tell you something, that all of this information that is now obsolete, I can just simply delete it. But the beauty of Excel is that by deleting this information, everything remains intact. Okay, all the formulas stay the same. Okay, so all I have to do is I type in my new totals. Okay, say question number 9. Let me say everything's worth 3 just to make the math a lot easier for me. Boom. So these 10 questions are all worth 3 points for a total of 30. Here, L1 divided by L dollar sign, L3 divided by L dollar sign 3, and all the rest of these guys remain the same. Okay? So that's a way of doing it. Suppose, for instance, I say, geez, this is a different class and I want to add more kids. Say I want to add 5 more kids. I right-click, insert. Okay, so there's a lot of different things you can do with Excel, and it will all follow the information. You will notice that I inserted these cells here, right? But right over here, whoops, it did not drag in the formula. So if I want, I'm going to have to drag this formula down. I did not realize I would have expected the formula to go in there as well. Drag that down. Do the same thing with the sum all the way across, and the sum looks like that's good. All right, so that's basically how you create a spreadsheet. I am going to expect that you people are going to have a little bit of problems with this because it is a fairly complex thing. I am also going to show you how you can total up things across several different spreadsheets. That's the next lesson.